You got people that are resentful towards her, but she is really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents.
To be clear, Caitlin Clark is being fouled at a record rate. Some of them are brutal fouls, and a lot of the refs are looking the other way.
Fortunately, it's creating a textbook hostile work environment for Caitlin Clark. And under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, the federal government does have an ability to engage.
Caitlin Clark just delivered some tough news. She's officially out for the season. After enduring months of hard fouls, a lack of protection, and constant disrespect, the league's brightest star is forced to step away. This isn't a matter of weakness. It's a result of how the WNBA handled her, treating one of its top players as if she didn't matter.
But despite all that success that she's immediately had, the league has basically looked the other way as she's been targeted on a weekly basis.
Caitlin Clark made an immediate impact when she joined the Indiana Fever. The WNBA suddenly experienced a new level of media attention and fan excitement. While rookies have always made their mark, none had done it quite like her. Clark didn't just play, she became the league's centerpiece, a star who drew eyes, attention, and revenue. In short, she was the face of the moment.
Okay, because she's brilliant, right? That's why she's wreaking havoc. Because she is so...
And the numbers tell the story even louder than any headline. League app engagement skyrocketed by over 6,000%. Before Clark, who was even checking the WNBA app, subscriptions jumped 366%, with fans eager to follow the league more closely. Merchandise sales went through the roof, rising 610% as everyone clamored for her jersey, her number, and her name. The impact on the Indiana Fever was just as staggering. The franchise's value tripled, going from near obscurity to one of the league's most valuable teams, all thanks to one rookie making an extraordinary entrance.
For attention about Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark has had a seismic impact on the WNBA ever since she first joined. Merchandise sales.
And yet, this ignited one of the biggest controversies in the league. You might expect the WNBA to celebrate her achievements, parades, accolades, maybe even extra protection. But instead, Caitlin outshone three-time MVP Aya Wilson, sending the league into quiet panic. The reaction wasn't just about basketball. It touched on politics, egos, and envy, highlighting how disruptive a standout rookie can be in a league full of established stars.
After she was drafted and heading into her rookie year, A'ja Wilson, who is a three-time MVP of the league, she's won the championship for the Las Vegas Aces, she came out and addressed the attention that Caitlin Clark...
What's striking is that Clark never asked for this drama. She simply played her game. But the moment her highlights dominated the media, the backlash was swift and intense. It wasn't subtle, professional, or safe. Now comes the shocking news. She's stepping away for the season. This isn't because she's past her prime. Far from it. It's because she's been physically battered on the court and mentally drained off it.
She is taking on harder fouls and at a higher rate than any of her peers. So it turns out that in her rookie season, she absorbed 17% of all flagrant fouls, or hard fouls.
Let's look at the numbers, because they make the situation undeniable. Caitlin Clark absorbed 17% of all flagrant and hard fouls in the WNBA this season. Pause for a moment. That's nearly a fifth of the league's worst hits going to just one player. And it gets more striking. That total is more than double the next closest player. This isn't normal competition. It's clear targeting.
Boils her blood when people try and say that it's not about race. And so, unfortunately, it seems like there's a lot of commentary that's being made by players when they're on camera and they know reporters are watching.
And these weren't minor fouls. We're talking mid-air collisions, blindside shoulder checks, hits more typical of rugby than basketball. On top of that, while Clark was taking brutal punishment nearly every game, the referees often seemed to do nothing. Viral clips showed her getting fouled 3 or 4 times on a single possession with no calls. The response? Silence. Refs appeared to forget their role entirely.
More than double the rate of any of her peers. This is not something that you would see occur to any other top star in any other league. And I think a lot of fans are scratching their heads of why the league is allowing this to continue.
And the most shocking part? Not a single player faced suspension. Despite how obvious some fouls were, despite slow-motion replays going viral and the crowd reacting loudly, the league took no action. One analyst even warned that Clark was just one flagrant foul away from a career-ending injury. Tragically, it reached that point. She's now out for the season.
There's a lot of jealousy and animosity, and that can be understood, right? If you've been an MVP of the league in the past, yet you were unable to achieve.
But it goes even deeper than just the fouls. This isn't simply about on-court rivalries. It touches on larger issues. Aya Wilson didn't hold back when she addressed it, pointing out that race plays a significant role. Hearing a three-time MVP speak so directly on the topic highlights that Clark isn't just facing physical challenges on the court. She's also navigating the weight of a cultural divide she never asked to be part of.
Able to achieve the visibility and perhaps the endorsements that Caitlin Clark has received right out of the gate, it shows that it's normal to assume that there would be some degree of resentment. However, the concern is that resentment is then leading to targeting on the court.
Veteran players who have spent years in the league without major media attention, endorsements, or national recognition were understandably frustrated when a rookie suddenly dominated the spotlight. That frustration is understandable, but once it escalates into on-court retaliation, it becomes a serious issue.
Because Ms. Clark's civil rights are being violated as she is targeted on the court, the basketball court, and no one's protecting her. Is that what you're saying?
The important point is that Clark never brought up race, pointed fingers, or played the victim. Yet, the moment she became the league centerpiece, resentment surfaced, and the fouls escalated. She ended up being a lightning rod for frustrations tied to years of overlooked talent. While that conversation is important, it should never be settled with elbows, cheap shots, or dangerous play.
That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on her shoulders.
Even her teammate Sophie Cunningham acknowledged the reality. The league's star player wasn't being properly protected. That says everything. It wasn't just opponents or fans. It was a failure from within the team and the league itself. When a player is being targeted week after week with no intervention, it stops being a game and starts becoming a serious liability.
Basically done for the WNBA what Michael Jordan did for...
From a legal standpoint, this could be considered a textbook case of a hostile work environment. Under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, you don't need overt slurs to prove racial discrimination. Patterns of unequal treatment and negligence are sufficient. If this situation were to go to court, the WNBA would have to explain how one of its most valuable players was allowed to be repeatedly targeted without even basic protections in place.
And the amount Caitlin Clark is being fouled compared to any of her peers in the league, or the treatment that she receives compared to any other top stars in any other leagues, there's no comparison to it.
As a result of everything that's happened, we're now at this point. Caitlin Clark, the player responsible for putting the WNBA back in the national spotlight, is out for the season. She arrived ready to play, shattered rookie marketing records, and instead faced relentless fouls on the court and political sidelining off it. She's injured, frustrated, and likely questioning why she even entered this league in the first place.
Instead of protecting its transformative star, the league's leadership ignores the relentless targeting of Miss Clark, treating its greatest asset as if she were a PR headache.
The Wall Street Journal didn't mince words, pointing out that the WNBA could be facing a civil rights lawsuit. This isn't speculation anymore. It's a legal issue that grows with every ignored foul and questionable non-call. League leadership is now under intense scrutiny, whether they want it or not.
He obviously ratcheted down.
Let's be honest, this goes far beyond poor officiating. We're looking at a clear pattern of behavior that points to discrimination. Recall the landmark 1993 case, Harris versus Forklift Systems. That ruling established that a hostile work environment doesn't require a physical assault to qualify. Repeated, degrading behavior that makes someone feel unsafe or disrespected at work is enough. Sound familiar?
What she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happen to be black female.
Then there's the important case of Tossenbury versus Texas Department of Community Affairs, which shifted the burden onto the employer once unequal treatment is demonstrated, a situation that fits Caitlin Clark perfectly. She's been subjected to nearly double the number of flagrant fouls as any other player in the league. This isn't conjecture. It's undeniable, hard numbers.
Maybe Caitlin Clark's civil rights are actually being violated. Is her right to a peaceful workplace, a non-hostile work environment, are those rights being violated?
And it gets even worse. There are on-record public comments from players addressing race and treatment in the league. Sophie Cunningham openly stated that Clark wasn't being protected, while Aya Wilson spoke passionately about how the situation angered her. These aren't subtle or harmless remarks, they're evidence. To make matters worse, leaked internal messages suggest referees were instructed to let the play continue, even if it meant Clark was taking dangerous hits. Essentially, the league's top marketable star was being targeted, and the response was to look the other way.
And so she's facing a hostile work environment. Unfortunately, it appears that it does impact a protected class, her race, as evidenced by quotes by players in the league. And there is a federal element here to where the government can intervene, and we've already seen this.
Now, federal agencies are paying attention. The Department of Justice and the Labor Department are looking into the situation, and even Congress has stepped in. Workplace safety and discrimination laws are all under scrutiny. When lawmakers are involved, it's no longer just about basketball. It's legal, political, and financial. Senator Jim Banks has already sent a formal letter to Commissioner Kathy Engelbert demanding answers. The WNBA's PR team is undoubtedly on high alert. Once federal oversight enters the picture, the stakes go far beyond public perception.
Time race has really gotten to this level. Why do you think the referees don't protect her more?
I think that's a great question. And I think the one key that, the 17% of flagrant fouls that she receives versus others, that's just based on calls that have actually been, that the referees actually call.
Yet despite all the chaos, the media largely stayed quiet. Where were the think pieces? The network specials? Caitlin Clark, who has been driving WNBA viewership and ticket sales, was surprisingly left off the USA Olympic team, the league's top draw, and she doesn't make the cut. It's baffling and raises serious questions about how the league and media value its most marketable star.
And get to play under these circumstances, where these girls are just going out there and playing basketball.
The fallout was immediate. The All-Star Game, which should have been a celebration for the league, saw ratings plunge by 55%. It's no coincidence. Fans noticed that the star they actually came to watch wasn't on the court. By sidelining Clark, the league essentially sidelined a large portion of its fan base as well.
Clark shattered fan vote records with 1.29 million All-Star votes, yet ranked only 9th among guards on the player ballot.
Team owners seem to downplay Clark's impact. Sheila Johnson, owner of the Mystics, suggested other players might deserve more attention. You'd think an owner benefiting from league-wide growth would protect the star driving it, but politics took priority instead. It's not just media silence or the Olympic snub. The emotional toll is real. Clark herself has spoken out, saying she experiences treatment on the court that others wouldn't endure. These aren't rumors. They're her first-hand experiences, getting elbows, mid-air collisions, and fouls while bystanders do nothing.